Hello. Welcome everybody to the last stream before Christmas. So I will try to remember as soon as I get done streaming today to grab this stream and the next, this stream and the previous stream on Tuesday. Get those ripped from Twitch and uploaded to YouTube and scheduled for I guess tomorrow and Saturday, and then we're out again. Sorry I don't have more content for you over the holidays, but if you're watching this, if you're new to watching our VODs or watching the stream, and you haven't seen basically all 100 and some of our other uploads at like 2 to 3 hours a piece, or if you haven't seen the EverQuest interviews that I did with former EverQuest developers on the Loving Robots YouTube channel, there you go. Hundreds of hours of stuff to watch over the holidays while you're just laying around in cookie mode or drinking by the fireplace or whatever it is that you're doing. So take a gander at that. If you enjoy this, please hit subscribe. We use every metric, whether it be the subscribe count on YouTube, the number of people on our mailing list, which I'll give a link for in a little bit, or the number of people in our Discord that aren't part of the giant crew of bots that just showed up. We use all of those metrics to gauge interest in the project as we go. So it's very kind of you if you don't mind doing that. I'll be honest with you. A subscribe for free on YouTube means every bit as much to me as a subscribe for our cut of the $5 or whatever on Twitch. Hey Frank and Beans. Hey Angel. Good morning. So, what are we going to do today? I'm going to hop onto the development server in the editor for a minute or two and test a couple things because I got a couple of bugs that I need to write up. Got to get in a better habit of writing up bugs and feature requests than I have been recently, and that's something I want to encourage the team to do as well. If you're watching from the team, I know a few of you will kind of what was the snarky term I was going to say? A few of you are willing to sort of suffer through watching these streams. Then I just want to mention something that I'll be mentioning in Slack as well, which is with the bugs that pop up in bug discussion and some of the various channels and stuff in Slack, I'm going to start pushing more and more for, if it's not something that somebody is going to immediately resolve, I'm going to ask that we add it as an issue in our GitHub issues and then maybe fire that off if we want to, sort of like a second nudge or reminder of like, hey, this bug exists, and just like link it or whatever in bug discussion or as part of that thread. If there's discussion or not, then put the link in the thread. And then on the flip side, people that are getting bombarded with like, hey, is this a bug, or hey, blah blah blah, if you're not going to address it immediately, please ask people to write up an issue. Angel says we're about to have a blizzard here in the Midwest. I'll be warm in my blanket watching your stream. Oh, it's awesome that you're warm in your blanket and watching the stream. Not awesome if the blizzard's something that you're worried about. I always forget exactly what counts as the Midwest. Jasmine and I have said that we would like to check out maybe either Montana or Wyoming if we were to go back to the States. Our family's all in Florida, which is a bit warmer, but we kind of like the idea of being around some mountains, being around nice season changes, being around a bunch of land where people can, just leave us alone. Frankenbean says, LOL, your Santa hat, I'm assuming is getting green screen, so it's like your headband and a floaty ball. Yep, It's my magic green Santa hat. I don't know why they were green. Oh, I got this years ago when I first went down to Cologne to visit my in-laws. My wife's German and her family lives in Cologne. So went down there and we all had green Santa hats. And like most of the family didn't really rock theirs the whole time. I loved it. I love Christmas. I love Santa hats. So yeah. So sometimes it's kind of sparkly, sometimes it's not. Angels in Minnesota. I don't know much about the like actual country part of Minnesota. I just know a bit of like cities that are in the news, which the cities don't sound like anything I want to be around, but if you got some good land out there, river, mountains. I'd have to look it up. You work in a town called Cologne, Minnesota? So fun fact about Cologne. Cologne actually comes from the name Colonia, which they still use in a number of things in Cologne. So Colonia is based off the fact that Cologne was a Roman colony. So the Colonia is based off colony, and there was a big Roman colony there, and they've got this thing. I haven't been down in it, but you're able to look in it from like through the glass above. They've got some building that's near the dome, which is like this 2-spire cathedral that is like, it's all black. It's so badass looking. It's like this giant cathedral with it's all black stone from where it would caught on fire. I think maybe, I don't think it was World War II. I thought it was after that. Anyway, so there's a building next to it where I guess they were digging the subway or something, and they uncovered like all this badass Roman like tile work and stuff. And so you can look in and see all these tiles, like big like mosaics, or what's a fresco? I'd have to look that up. It's been a while since I had art class. But anyway, it's like just all this just beautiful badass like tile work. So that's Cologne. And there's a big hill in Cologne. It's a big hill, but I guess it's a lot of like rubble and debris and stuff that they turned into the hill and then put earth over it and stuff. And I can't remember if Jasmine said that had like old shit, or if it was just from World War II, or if it was just, I don't know, they had a bunch of trash. Anyways, Frankenbean says, I'm nearby in Ontario, Angel. We're probably getting hammered with snow also. Yeah, I mean, it looked like it's just going to be gnarly up there. Top middle. The joke that Pattis had said was like, he posted the color bands, and the color bands didn't even have a color for the worst of it, like -50 or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. Fun fact, the adventure of my coffee warming thing, USB coffee warming thing, so far this week has been, one arrived, it was really dope looking, very fancy, it arrived, pulled it out of the box, very excited, it had an American outlet plug-in thing, and was like, oh, I guess I accidentally ordered this off of Amazon instead of Amazon.de. Got it from Amazon.com, and nowhere did it really say that it wasn't USB. The original search was for USB, so I thought it was USB powered. So we're gonna send it back, but then they wanted like as much money to send it back. Shipping is it cost almost, and so I was like, screw it. We're gonna go to Florida in the new year and visit my family, so I'll just give it to one of them. So my wife ordered a new one that's gonna be German plug-in. And not USB, and then the doorbell didn't ring this morning, because when we first got a doorbell, Jasmine was like, oh, I want to get one of these ones that's battery powered, and I'm like, babe, it's gonna run out of battery and we're gonna miss stuff all the time. And she's like, no. I was like, babe, trust me on this. And it was one of those ones where after like 4 warnings, I just was like, all right, go for it. And that thing is always out of batteries, and we're always missing shipments. So today, finally, she's like sent me the thing, was like, yeah, it's not a great idea, Sakaj. And yes, it is a Christmas hat of invisibility. It makes my brain disappear. And so today she was like, just got an update from Amazon or whatever that they were unable to deliver the package. I was like, let me walk downstairs and see if it's the battery. Yep, it's the battery. Can we get one that we plug in, please? And she was like, yeah, I'm looking at them now online. So finally. Hey, Chat Solo. Coffee was too hot to drink like 5 minutes ago, and now it's lukewarm. And during the summer I don't mind that, but during the winter I want that warm stuff for as long as possible. All right, so let me go into development server. Those of you that were not here Tuesday, I'll do a quick showing off of stuff. If you look here, we can't zoom in yet, but now we've got accurate depiction of your character here. And here's a little thing that I was showing on Tuesday. So we're trying to keep the modeling as old school as possible, right? Very low poly. And we're relying a lot on just lighting and the power of the textures, which Goblin's upgrading the textures right now on the skin. I'm excited to see that. But we're doing some little additions. Like here you can see this mantle is actual geo over that model. And then at the bottom of it, there's this little bit of cloth simulation that we're doing here. You can see the edges, and it's subtle, right? But again, the reason why we're taking this approach is, you know, the thing that I've had in my mind's eye when we're talking about the game and how to approach art is, we're not doing low poly and sort of old school models in style just for the sake of doing it, so we can go, hey, look, we're old school. I really feel that when we go with this simpler style with more of a focus on the textures, with better, you know, more modern lighting in the engine. And then we put in these little bits of, you know, modern touches in here, like just a tiny bit of geo. And just this little bit of movement here, which wasn't my idea, by the way. That Zukin threw this on here, I believe. And it was just, you know, him checking it out. But it's so in line with this idea of, can we make something that feels like can we make something that, for me, because I'm, you know, 47 years old, can we make something that invokes this memory of the old animated, like celluloid style animated fantasy movies, along, you know, like Fire and Ice, shit like that. Like when I was a kid, I was, oh man, this is super cool. The Hobbit, right? Like, and can we also kind of take and bring an illustration to life, right? So it's not hyper stylized, but it's meant to be, you know, one of those badass old Parkinson or Elmore or Easley paintings that were just like, you know, the tabletop book covers, or just the art that we'd see and get so jazzed about. So anyways, that's the idea with this stuff. So it's really cool as we're adding in these bits, to see some of come to life. And so, like, you know, having the book as an attachment now, you can wear it on any of your belt sort of slots. The backpack and the different backpacks that we'll have and stuff, and some of the stuff that we're doing with the hair, which is now peeking through my helmet here. Ignore that. You know, I love seeing this, like, even just as early as we are. I love seeing this hood on this guy, and even with the older facial textures, seeing like the eyes kind of pop, and yeah, so I'm excited about it. Raul said, bring some more cold weather with you when you come to Florida, please. Most of these Floridians haven't suffered enough. I don't know, man. I want to get some swimming. I want to hop in my dad's pool when we get there, even though it's going to be late February. Hell's Ridge, Guten Morgen. Shift J said the backpacks are perfect. Yeah, it's going to be rad to see more of them in action. Let's see. You know what, Zukin, if you're watching, at some point, it's completely frivolous, and at some point I know we're going to kind of burn through our budget of shit that we can do cloth sim on without, you know, kind of killing all optimization or whatever. But that little bit of an edge that you did on the mantle, just that little bit of an edge sells the cloth so much. You had mentioned doing it on the robe, the bottom edge of the robe, after looking at, like, you know, the chunk that he did. He added cloth sim on like a bigger chunk, and it doesn't, you know, doesn't look as good. But having this little edge here is so badass for cloth. So if we were to do that for like the cowls as well, like, and not even the full thing, like maybe just right here on the flap, just a little bit of that, just that little bit of movement, and, you know, maybe even tamp it down so it's not super loosey-goosey. But I think that that kind of stuff can really sell the appearance of cloth. Pazzy said, focusing the effort on those larger pieces seems like a great idea. While it can be nice to customize the look of a belt realistically, it's such a small part of the look, and probably only noticeable if you stand still and tell someone to look at it. Yeah, well, if I understand you correctly, so this belt here, and I don't have it on everybody. Everybody doesn't have a belt, I don't think. Yeah, like this guy, he may have a darker color one, but none of them have buckles and stuff. But there are belt options for us. Like this guy doesn't have one, but then he's still got the book on there. So sometimes things, you know, they're not 100% sort of realistic or enforcing realism, but just meant to add some variety and customization and a bit of an effect at a glance, like you said. Same thing, we've got this tiny ripped up cape. I think it'll be interesting to see how we handle this, because I've got the feeling that where it attaches here is based off of the idea that there may be shoulders at times. And we may really have to, like, consider that when we make the capes. Like, maybe, because I like the kind of look of it coming around and attaching, but I think that's going to be very difficult if we've got two different layers here, base layer and then some geo. So yeah, but overall, especially, you know, at a distance or whatever, having some of the different capes and shit, which I like these a lot better than I would have imagined, or I imagined when we first started talking about adding them in, even though they're just like basically simple planes. That still works out really well. Again, the effect is good so far. So is everybody off for the holidays now? We drive down to Cologne tomorrow evening once Jasmine's off. What am I drinking today? I am drinking just my usual sort of crappy instant coffee. Crappy instant coffee. Nothing fancy. I don't have a fancy fancy espresso machine like Ollie. Old pro machine. Hell's Ridge is working from home today. We have a negative 25 wind chill in Oklahoma. Oof. Thanks, Chad Solo. Angel said, work canceled today and tomorrow because of blizzard. So yep, holiday starts early. Congrats. Mm-hmm. All right, so I came in here to test something, two things maybe. So let me go ahead and prep us for that. Let's bring up the data here. Do they have eggnog in Germany? Justin Beard asked. It's not super common, I don't think. I'd have to check the grocery store and see. Every once in a while, I think I see like a carton of it or something. We've had to make it on our own. They have something different that does not taste like eggnog. And it does not taste as good as eggnog. But it's called...
Happy holidays all.
Happy holidays to you, Rev Chumley. Yeah, so yesterday, I guess, Luna was saying yesterday was... what is the pagan holiday? Is it like the winter solstice or something? And then we've got Hanukkah going on right now. We've got Christmas coming up. I love this time of year. I love it. It's weird though because it warmed up. It's been cold, not like America cold. Saturnalia. That may be it. But it's been like, okay, so you guys are, I always forget, it's Fahrenheit, right? US is Fahrenheit. I've been out of the country so long. And we're Celsius here. Anyways, it's been -7 hour thing, Celsius, which is not that horribly cold, is it? Right? Let me look it up. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Fahrenheit. So I mean Fahrenheit sounds German. To Celsius. So -7. So 19 degrees is as cold as it's gotten here. And that was last week. And then this week it is 44 degrees. So just kind of muddy. Just muddy. Yeah, 19 wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. I mean, shit, the coldest I think I've been in Europe. Let me bring that back. Control-Shift-T. Fahrenheit. I think the coldest I've been in Europe is like maybe -25. Which is only -13. And that was like on a ski trip in northern Sweden. Not like super north, but north enough. So anyways, to wrap up the eggnog thing, we have eierlikör, which is egg liquor here, but it doesn't taste anything like eggnog. It doesn't really even taste that good, to be honest. So yeah, that's not the big thing here. Like, they're not big eggnog drinkers, but they've got Glühwein, which is mulled wine. So Glühwein is good, warm mulled wine. You can put some rum in it. Fun fact, my job interview at Big Point, when I first came to Germany in 2015, I had a job interview. I flew in. It was around Christmas time. The company had their Christmas party the day that I interviewed. And was it the day or the second day? Anyways, it was like basically, I think I'd wrapped up. So maybe it was only one day interview. Maybe that was it. So they had their Christmas party the day I interviewed. And at the end of it, we had this big glass covered like courtyard where they kicked off their Christmas party by basically having all the Glühwein you can drink. So all the warm wine you can drink and they're throwing rum shots in it before we even left to go to the party. Needless to say, I got the job. Somehow I got the job. Everybody was very happy with me before the night kicked off, so I think that's what saved me. Because I'd already interviewed. And I just remember at some point them waking me up from one of the couches at the bar that the party was at later. And then my the guy I knew there, sort of my buddy's friend that sort of introduced me to the company and stuff, forwarded me all these pictures that were basically straight out of The Hangover. It's like me at the bar underneath some bartender who's pouring shots into my mouth, like me dancing. I had a fantastic time and then went to sleep on the couch. So there's pictures of me asleep on the couch. And so I get there. I get to the company, a few weeks later, a month later or whatever. It took a little while to basically go, okay, we're good, and then pack up stuff and move from Austin to Germany. And when I got to the company, they were taking me around to meet everybody, and this is like a 500 person company, taking me to all these different departments and stuff. And they'd be like, hey, have you met so-and-so? I'm like, I don't know. And they'd be like, yes, we've met. I met everybody. Everybody's laughing their ass off because, yeah. It's just hilarious. So, it was a good time. I had a lot of friends even before I got there. So that is my Glühwein story. Pezzy says, I don't think I've ever even seen eggnog. I only know it from media. I don't think I even know for sure what it is. Rich said eggnog is so good, my wife hates it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I love the flavor. I would think that Germans would really like it if they understood it better. Yeah, so what are the ingredients for eggnog? If you're watching this VOD, enjoy it. It's a holiday VOD. I'd play holiday music, but we'd probably get copy stricken or whatever. Eggnog. Ingredients. I know when Jasmine made it, it was actually kind of, there's a lot of like stirring and making sure the egg didn't get weird and stuff. The recipe. Homemade eggnog right here. Whoa, the calories on this is goodness. 14 ingredients, 15 minutes to make, 470 calories per serving. But this recipe is only 3-star as well. So it's egg yolks, sugar, a lot of sugar, milk. So half a cup of sugar with 2 cups of whole milk. 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream, 3 ounces of bourbon. That does not seem like enough bourbon. A tablespoon of vanilla, teaspoon of freshly grated nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3 ounces whole milk. The recipe includes 3 ounces of eggnog. That seems like that's kind of a weird self-referential thing. Get caught in a weird loop. 1 shot of espresso and a pinch of nutmeg. And 5 large egg yolks. I love the eggnog that you can just I love the eggnog that you can just get at the store in the US, like a jug of eggnog. Throw some alcohol in it, and we're good. Yazlox Pro, hello. Justin Beard said Washington State did really good eggnog. Maine has been underwhelming, but they are good with chowder, which it seems odd because eggnog is like the chowder of holiday beverages. All right, so I'm going to switch over to scene view. Data's loaded up. Data. There is no playlist. The sound. You know what? I should make one though. I should basically. Are most people used to playlist? Is that kind of what you cue in on? Because it's not always running. This is our actual soundtrack. So here, let me get. I can make that command. YouTube, stop it. Okay. Doop, 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 doop. Let's get the playlist info so I can post it in here. Share. Is this the playlist? This may not be it. Let me go back in here. Switch to the M&M account from a loving robot. Pause that. Sorry for blasting your ears potentially. That's what happens. And go to our channel. It's gonna blast your ears again. Playlist. Yeah, so I need to make a command for that. Maybe I should do that right now so I don't forget. And see if that's just the song in our playlist. Anyway, yeah, this is it's just playing from in-game. Options. I've got volume turned down quite a bit. Justin said I listen to music all the time playing EQ2. I was cranking Crowbar earlier. New Orleans Doom Sludge Metal. Yeah, when you're in the zone, you know, when you just want to sit there and like get focused on the game, and especially if you're camping or something like that, it's nice to just have some chill music in the background. We're fortunate that our wonderful Robert, who does our audio, he does all of the sounds and the music. He's an actual musician. He's like a performing, touring musician. He's pretty badass. And when he's not doing that, it's funny. He's shown us pictures where he's like on stage, and you can kind of see behind the stage or on the edge of the stage or whatever, like at a festival or something, and there'll be a laptop open and it'll be his P99 characters. He's such a rock star that when he's done rocking out, he goes back to the hotel room, and if they got a decent enough internet connection, he's on his laptop playing P99. So let's check out this guy right here. It is, what is he? ID number 9. That'll be easy enough to find. So what we'll do is I'm gonna wind up deleting this command out of the database because there's no delete functionality here in this interface that we've got in Unity. But I'm gonna try something real quick and see. I'm gonna give him a new command. And it's going to be one that I think may be bugged. So I want to just confirm that it's bugged before I record the bug. So, say, let's just have him say hello. And it doesn't do anything. So, say hello. And I think as soon as I click out of the field, does it stay? Nope, it just goes back to say. Either way, with the say here, what I'll do is I'll come back in. He's right there. My keyboard switches to Swedish constantly. Reload zone. See if he says say at least. He does say. Well, he'll say. What about hello? Oh, you know what? Let me do something different then. Hey, Vagrant, what's going on? So everybody, as the day progresses, I will say Merry Christmas to folks. If you are not a Christmas person, then well, still Merry Christmas because I'm saying it to you. I'm not necessarily saying like you have to have a Merry Christmas. I'm just saying I'm happy about Christmas. I hope you have a great whatever you're doing. On the flip side, if you're into, you know, if it was just your Saturnalia, or your winter equinox, or your, if you're celebrating Hanukkah right now, all of that, you know, feel free to like fire back what you're into to me. And that's how we share. Hey, Corthan. Merry Christmas to you too. See, because that's how I grew up. I grew up in weird places. I grew up on army bases and in Germany as a kid and different places. And I've always been around a lot of different folks from a lot of different cultures. That's just what happens when you're an army kid. And so it's always been very normal. And to me, Happy Holidays is fine, but it's just, it doesn't feel the same. So, but if you give me a Happy Holidays, I'm cool with that. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too, Vagrant. The sun is coming in my apartment right now so crazily. The temperature's better than it's been in weeks. So I'm kind of like, we got a tree and stuff, but I'm kind of bummed I'm not feeling the spirit. Happy Frostfell to you, Justin Beard. Alright, so this say command. Say anything other than say. So where we'll find that basically is if we come into here and we go into zone spawn commands, which is what this is. And then we're looking for the one related to spawn number 9 and Night Harbor. And I may need to load all of these up because we've got 1,500 of these dealies in our little proof of concept already. Just gonna ignore the corpse there. Yeah, it's always best to ignore the corpse. Alright. Let me refresh real quick. Happy Festivus. DDJ, happy Festivus to you. We once got all of the Seinfeld seasons given to us by Sony Online Entertainment after we were purchased by Sony Pictures on DVD. So, Night Harbor, where is number 9? Sometimes these are not in order, oddly enough. I'm not quite sure what dictates the ID order in this table. Maybe it's being driven by when it was created. The Pilgrim Run says it's not supposed to get above freezing this whole weekend, which is super rare for Alabama. Going down to 6 degrees tonight. That is chilly. I don't remember Dothan getting super cold ever, really. John, I forget, where in Alabama is your... Wait, are you there? I thought, for some reason I thought just your family was there. Are you there? Whoa. Man. Been trying to cram in workouts this week. I gotta... So I'm going to... I haven't seen like my cousins and family and stuff in Florida in forever. Got some cousins and uncles and stuff like that. And so our trip to Florida this year got squashed because we got to Austin, had like a good day and a half of seeing Austin, got to COVID, wasn't bad, sore throat for 2 days, but stayed in a hotel room for 5 days and came back to Germany. It was bullshit. So what wound up doing instead is just like going, all right, we came back, we were like, screw it, it's the write-off for this year, so we're gonna go back to we're gonna try to go back to Florida before March, so in February. But I know my cousins and my uncle and other folks are gonna be there, gonna see all my family. But I'm like, Oh man, I got a little bit of punch to try to get through. So I'm gonna watch after my epic drinking and eating in Cologne this weekend for Christmas. I've only got a birthday party after that, and is there something else? I think I've got like 2 more kind of things that are gonna happen in January. But I'm gonna try to be very disciplined on my diet, get all my workouts in, get as fit as possible. And then my cousin and I were born on the same day. Ricky, if you're out there. Born on the same day, mom in the same hospital. Our moms have the same first name. So there are 2 Karen Lords in the hospital in Ocala with kids on the same day. And so we were always competitive when we were kids, and I haven't seen them in forever. So I wanna get down there and flex on him a little bit, because he used to try to bully me when I was a little kid. Yeah, what's up now? John's near Huntsville. That's right. I think now I remember, because I think I mentioned I'd only been up to Huntsville a couple of times. Once was when I worked at the art museum to drop off a bunch of art. DDJ's at Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Yep. Not leaving the house until maybe New Year's Eve. Dude, if you're stocked up, then that's good. Enjoy it, dude. Nicodemus. Merry Christmas, buddy. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. As he said, mums with the same name in the same hospital. It looks like the start of a film where kids get swapped and only realize that as an adult. That would be the case if it wasn't for the fact that I look just like my dad when he was younger. And Rick looks just like his dad. So, there's no denying it. Alright, so back to actual work. Then again, those of you, if you are watching this VOD, if you're coming in here for the first time, it's Christmas in a few days. This is the Christmas VOD. This is a Christmas stream. Justin's preparing for power outage. We're going to have a lot of rain and then flash freeze, so I may not be able to go anywhere. Maybe very bad ice. Yeah. You should, as long as you got everything you need to eat and drink and all that stuff. Got your shopping done yesterday. We haven't bought anything. We just decided we weren't going to buy anything this year. Alright, so variable 1 here. So type ID is say, which is what we've got here. Variable 1 is this. I think it may just be a UI issue. So let's test this. Hello. This is a test string. Alright. Click off. It seems to have saved it. I'm not going to try to refresh here. But what I'm going to do is I'll just refresh the zone again and see if Homeboy says this. And if he does say it, then we know it's just a bug with the interface. Yep, it is. It is. Okay. And I can let Luna know that that this works. You just kind of do a workaround right now, but it's a UI issue. It's not a database issue or a code issue. Hey, Bill Faster. Vagrant said, I was thinking as a sort of fun joke maybe, buying hundreds of dollars in lottery tickets and giving them out in lieu of thoughtful gifts. That's not a bad joke. Our Jasmine's dad, Uli, his name is Uli because his real name is Ulrich. Man, that's actually a hard one to say in German. Ulrich. I can say it after a few beers. But Uli. Uli always gives us a bunch of lottery tickets for Christmas. Uli's awesome. Let's see. Alright, so we've debugged that. Was there another command? see. I just got a TM from Ollie. Okay, it was a meme. Ollie used to be a common name here. Sounds like kind of like a teddy bear's name. So it's Uli, U-L-I, Uli. But yeah, Vagrant, I think it's a fun gift. Belfaster said I gave $20 scratch-offs to my employees and just joked that they had to take me to a fancy dinner if they won. That's cool. I dig it. Cool. So let me write a quick note. Actually, you know what? Let me not write a quick note. Let me actually do this the legit way. You guys aren't going anywhere, are you? Is it cool if I write a bug really quick? I would show you how we've got things set up in GitHub, but I really don't want you guys to see anything related to our GitHub information. I don't think that's safe. We have I was in here testing a guy because we've got an NPC that does some goofy stuff. So this guy over here, there's a weird bug with him. Well, every once in a while, guard a mirror. If I bring him something to kill. Let me equip my speed gem. I give him something to kill. Like this poor old jackal here. Then, Watchman go away. Slash kill Watchman. Alright, so guard a mirror. Every once in a while, he'll decide he doesn't want to go back to his spawn point. Hey, John. But it's not always. And I tried all sorts of combinations of stuff earlier today, and it just would not figure itself, like it wouldn't give me a clue as to how to effectively repro it. So that is the joy of game development right there. Corthan said, move back to Wisconsin from Irvine, California. Going to be -34 tomorrow, apparently. Yikes. I hope you packed more than just your flip-flops and your Hawaiian shirts and other stuff that you Californians are so fond of, especially in Irvine. Corthan, did you work at one of the game companies in that area? The only times I've been to Irvine were game company related. Went up to, I don't know if they moved. I guess maybe they moved. I went to Blizzard way back in the day. We spent a day and an evening up there, and it was cool. It was just like kind of our area, the same as Sony Online at the time. It was just like industrial kind of feeling area. Irvine, all of Irvine kind of felt that way. Corthan said, yeah, with Josh, Augustine, and a few others from SOE. Left that job though, working remote from Wisconsin now. Oh, cool. Yeah, we probably discuss it, and I apologize. I can't place it. I don't remember it. Rev Chumley, by the way, I gave you the happy holidays back, but thank you for 6 months. Appreciate that. Silencer 5445 says, hey, I'm flying back to California next week. Can't wait for the weather. Yeah, the weather's not bad. It was weird. After the first year, I kind of got weirded out by it. I was in San Diego for, what, 6 years? And after a while, I just kind of, I really wanted to have seasons. Which Austin did well enough for on that front, I guess. There's a story recently about White Elephant Party at a company where a lady won $175,000 from a scratch off after losing her $25 gift card to TJ Maxx to someone else. At first she was bummed, and then she was excited. 175 grand. That would go straight into... Oh, now guard Adnan is stuck. Wait a minute. Has it been guard Adnan the whole time? Let me fire a message back in sec. Wait a minute. Now, guard Adnan is being goofy and standing here. Let me stat him real quick and see if he's got somebody on his hate list. Nope. Nothing on his hate list though. Nicodemus, thank you for your generosity. Nicodemus just gave us 5 gift subs to 4 Velens, BDC Retro, and Peach Claire, Perjoss, and Nicktropolis TV. Merry Christmas. Hey Shaka. Isan, thank you for 21 months, brother. Good to see you. Hope everything is going all nice and holiday season-y for you. All right, so let me look and see if there's anything else going on with this guy. No abilities, doing anything weird, no blah blah blah. Nothing. Nada. Okay, so we've tested that bug, and discovered what the bug truly is. So let me open. Cool, and that opened out of your site, so security maintained. Let me go to issues. 373 of these guys. New issue. We'll come back here. Disable. Enable. So in some games, depending on how it's set up, it could be, in some games I've worked on, you actually have to tell the NPC to go back to their spawn point manually on like every single one of them, and it's just kind of wacky. But that's not what's going on here. The only command he's got on him is this one right here, which is... Come on, buddy. Just this new one that I added, right? Him using the say command. So Nicodemus said, "Enjoy all. Thanks, Sean, for sharing your journey with us." You are very welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. So amped that you guys check out our streams and stuff. It's super cool that the team streams and we can hang out with you guys while we're making the game. It's honestly made this development process one of the most enjoyable and just kind of interesting development processes I've been on for a game since I first got in the industry. I mean, naturally, when I first got to Sony and was working on EQ, completely new to the industry, completely new to the disciplines. Everything was new. Everything was super exciting. So that one's a hard one to top. But this has been like a really fun way of working. Though I don't get a lot of shit done on stream, but at least I can show off people's work and stuff. Excuse me. He said, thanks, brother. Hunkering down for a week off from school. for only gaming and hiking. That sounds like a blast, dude. I gotta get my glasses adjusted. They keep sliding off my face. Justin said, love chatting with you guys. It's fun. Yeah, we got a nice little community here. All right, so let me quickly write this bug. I know it's not very exciting for you guys to. Here, let me take a quick screen capture of the issue, and then we'll switch back into game mode, and you can look at the pretty sky or something while I do this. There's a will-o-wisp above my head. Good morning. I guess that's... I could have probably done something with it to make it a little bit more willow-wispy. Was it guard Adnan that got the kill? Wonder if he's bugged out instead of Amir because he got the kill. That's a great... Yeah, Adnan is the one that got the kill. Organic cacao. Nice catch. Let me put that in the thread. And I will actually credit you with this. I will say, organic cacao asked if it's potentially related to the fact that Adnan got the kill. Both Adnan and Amir ran up, but Adnan stuck this time. Pazzy said, even if you don't get a lot of work done on stream, it does seem like you're selling the game to a lot of people who wouldn't otherwise know about it. Yeah. Don't tell anybody that's part of the plan. It's marketing. Because in theory, you know, it's funny how often I've seen marketing teams be like, how do we develop like organic reach? How do we build a community in order to, you know, help sell the product? Like, I guess be organic and build the community. We'll see how that turns out for us. Or sorry, authentic, not organic. Authentic. I am definitely, I'm fairly organic. But, hey Pattis. Hey Stout T. Belfaster said, maybe it's the flu meds make me sensitive, but that is such a beautiful statement. Thinking back to when I was in middle school, gaming and kids / adults had a certain reputation. And it probably unfairly, unjustly, definitely didn't include stuff like hiking. It's cool to see how open and diverse it is. Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad was just like, he was definitely not into the idea of me playing video games all the time. But now we've got a lot of dads. Hell, I could be a granddad in theory. Belfaster said he's tasted death. He's turning into a vampire. Guard Adnan? Oh man. DDJ said, I've already talked to all my old EQ buddies and family that used to play with me. I'm trying to get my guild back together. The marketing is working. Nice. Corthan, yeah, it was the same for my dad. My dad was like, gaming is stupid until like I explained to him why I was going to California, and he was like, all right, well, good luck. And then after like my first year being on the EQ team and that going really well and stuff, then he finally got it. And that's back when we were like, hey, if you look at it, gaming is gonna like surpass gaming's gonna surpass the movies and everything else. And now it's a thing. I was just checking our thread here. Ollie's doing. What is that, Ollie? Yeah, okay. I see what you did there, Ollie. Why do you do these things sometimes? Instigator. John said my parents saw the value of computers and gaming. They bought me a VIC-20. Nice. I mean, I can't say that they didn't understand the value of computers. They didn't have the cash for it, so my grandmother helped out and got me a Commodore 128. My friends had 64s and I thought they looked so dope. But I was excited to get the 128. It was the 128D. It had like that weird cable thing for the detachable keyboard. So it wasn't, yeah. It was, but it was pretty dope. Perjos, hello. All right, so let me finish this. Let me actually write this damn bug. So I actually do it. Say spawn command can't be edited and can't be edited in the, what the hell do we call this thing again? Why do I bother writing documentation if I can't think of it? Or if I can't remember this stuff. It's funny if you actually if I remove this and I put the zone panel not attached in here in this view, and I lose focus on the scene, it actually doesn't dump the data, which is pretty handy. So let me pull the data back up again, which takes a moment, so we'll just sit here and lag for a second. Nicodemus says, still have a C64 in my house with a separate 5¼ floppy drive. Is it one that you've had the whole time, or is it one that you got later on? Burgess said I was lucky or unlucky, I guess. My dad didn't care how much video games I played as a kid. Probably lucky. Nicodemus said, my father was anti-gaming when I was a kid. Now that he is 73, he is like, why didn't you ever get into video games? You know, all that programming and stuff. Oh man, that's funny. John said, we never had much money either, but I never asked for much either. A bike and baseball glove, and I was good to go. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have much cash, but it seemed like I always had everything I wanted. Parents were awesome on that front. So, all right, can't be edited in the spawn manipulator. Those are the words I'm looking for. Use my words. Spawner manipulator. When trying to edit the text field in the text field of the say spawn command in the spawner manipulator, clicking outside of the field text field resets the text to the default say. However, these spawn commands can be edited in the DB, and the command will work as intended. And here's a little image. And who do I assign this to? I'm not going to assign it to anybody at the moment. I need to go through all these with Ollie at some point. Label. What is this? This is a design tool issue. It's a bug. It's a design tooling issue. I don't think it's a database issue. Its priority is pretty damn low compared to everything that we got going on right now. And we're just going to leave it at that. Project. Oh. Did it really only? It didn't click any of these other ones that I clicked? Come on, man. Bug. Editor. Prio is low. Low. There we go. That's better. Project hours. Milestone. Yeah, hit there. Cool. Oh. Belfaster said, my dad was an early adopter, kind of what led to us ending up with a decent setup and dial-up. My brother played MUDs. We both played Neverwinter on AOL, The Realm, Wolfenstein / Doom. Do not miss the old flat floppies. Installing Windows 3.1 sucked. I'm just nostalgic for the old flat floppies though. It's funny, man, swapping floppies like every time you zone in and out of a town in Ultima or something like that. It's pretty cool. Professor at the college gave me the Commodore 64. Knew that I had one as a kid and said I'd appreciate it. That's so badass. What a nice guy. Yeah, I met a guy through my uncle. One of my uncle's friends had actually. I'll hit save here. Let me go into the database before I forget and nuke this now. I'm here. Oops. We're just gonna kill this row. Delete selected rows. Yes. Interesting. So let me try something here. Refresh. 9. It's refreshed. Huh. Did it actually delete it though? So let's disable, re-enable, and see if that appears. So is there a jail for players that send in fake bug reports? I think people that send in fake bug reports or become kind of problematic tattletale types, like reporting everybody or filing bullshit petitions, they will suffer consequences. Maybe we'll put them in jail as well, but only for a limited period. DDJ was responding to John, said we used to be outside all freaking day, then Nintendo or Sega or whatever, then it was when it was dark. Yep, same here. It was a nice balance between like skateboarding and playing D&D and running around just being dummies, and then playing games. Even when I was younger. Like, there was no way... I mean, I've spent a fair amount of time in front of, like, either someone's computer or my computer or, like, the NES or whatever. But there was just this natural drive to, like, run around in the woods and, you know, shoot toy guns and hit each other with sticks after watching Highlander and shit like that. So, like, we maintained our own balance. John said, Sean, that's good parenting though. I didn't realize how much later, didn't realize until much later that we were poor because my parents managed. Yeah, I mean, the thing, so it's a weird thing, and this isn't meant to sound as cheesy as the statement may sound. It's like, we didn't have a lot of cash growing up. There was a period where our lifestyle improved significantly when we lived in Germany. So the first time we lived in Germany, we were, you know, it was very much like the joke about being fancy and cutting up the hot dogs to put in the instant mac and cheese kind of thing, right? Like, because we lived off base in Germany the first time in a very, very, very small village of like a dozen houses. But it was 1 Deutschmark to the dollar at the time. Then my dad was, we were in Florida for a year because my dad was on assignment. He was undercover in California, which is a fun story, for a year. Then when he got done with that, we went back to Germany for a few years. And when we went back to Germany, something had happened during that period where it like the economy had shifted and it was 4 Deutschmarks to the dollar. And my mom had gotten a job, because my mom had like, she's always had like a job or two, you know. She was like, I'll always be nostalgic whenever I smell like French fry grease, because the first time we lived over there, I think it was the first time we lived over there, my mom worked at the Rod and Gun Club on base. And so there's like a shooting range and fried food and shit like that. And then and it's just always smelled like fast food. And then the second time we lived there, she actually, when we first got there, she got a job at a sewing factory. And it was pretty gnarly, and she quit because like it was mainly foreign workers there, and she was very slow at sewing, and so like these Turkish ladies were not happy with her. So they're yelling at her in German. She doesn't speak German very well, if at all. And then and so she was like, "This is too stressful." So, but she wound up getting a job at an American company that like distributed. I think what do they used to be called, Babco or something like that? Basically, like anything you would get at a restaurant or a bar, like margarita powder or canned nacho cheese or any of that shit came in through this company. And so she wound up like getting a job there as like a secretary. And that was my first time ever seeing a telex machine, which was pretty badass. It was so loud. Da, 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 da. Anyways, and so she got a job there and she got paid dollars. My dad's naturally getting paid dollars. We live in a small village, pretty far from base, and the conversion rate is like $1 for 4 Deutschmarks. And so it's just like, we went from being super broke the first time to like having a pretty decent lifestyle the second time. And that was a lot of fun. Because my dad was also part of a motorcycle club, the local little MC in town. And so I was always hanging out like these badass like you know, motorcycle rallies and Harleys everywhere and parties and shit. It was rad as a kid, like completely inappropriate half the time, but super rad. And then they could afford to buy like a 2600, you know, and Legos and all this other stuff. So, and then after that, we went back to just being kind of like, I don't know, lower middle class, upper lower class, when we moved back to the US. But I never really wanted for anything. And when I look back now at the fact that my parents were 17 when they had me, in their 20s when all of this is going on, I'm 47 right now. In theory, I could be a you know, based on my parents' trajectory, I could be a grandparent. So I'm just baffled at how well they did. Oh my god, I got the worst posture when I stream, I realize. Let me look. I never have the stream thing up, so I need to get another monitor or something. Like Zukin's got this badass setup where he's got like 3 monitors. I've just got text over here, like you guys, chat and stuff over here. Most work over here. And so I've always got the like view of Streamlabs and shit minimized. So I can't really watch my posture and stuff. Cool. All right, so far today I've gotten one bug report in. Let me check Slack real quick and see. Squiggly lines, thank you for 16 months. All right, so we've checked what we wanted to check here. I'm going to hop out of here and let's try something. Well, while we're doing that, I'm going to grab latest. Looks like Erkenstaff checked in some new anims and stuff. So we'll grab those. We can take a look at them in a minute. And then I'm going to test my luck on getting into our release client. Yeah, Nicodemus. Now, I will say there were those times. I say that, you know, I didn't want for anything, but now that I think back, I do remember those times where it was like, especially when I got in the US, it wasn't as bad when I was going to like army schools and stuff. But when I got back to the US, because I think that was the thing, like in the US as a non-commissioned officer son, you know, my dad was a awesome soldier, wonderful leader, like, you know, still meet people, and he's like legend status dude for the time that he spent in the army. But he's a giant, no bullshit. Well, actually, a lot of bullshit. He's a great shit talker, very charismatic guy, super good on that side. But he's got a quick, you know, sort of his fuse is short, especially when dealing with like nonsense when it was army related or whatever. And in his spare time, he really liked to drink and fight. Because he's a giant guy. Like I'm 6'2", 190. My dad is, or was, sort of in his prime, 6'4" when he was in shape, 230 when he was out of shape, 260, and just a tattooed, scarred up world beater of a dude. And so he would, you know, getting some altercations and stuff, and he kept losing rank. So after 20 years in the army, he retired as an E6. So, you know, being a E6's son, you know, and a lot of that time was when he was E5 or whatever, but he actually spent a huge amount of time as an E6. Like we basically, all of the non-officers kids kind of knew each other and hung out and stuff. And so it wasn't as big a deal. When I moved back to the US, and it was like we actually had to, you know, live in towns that weren't on, you know, weren't base. Then I really got exposed to like the difference in sort of like the difference in classes, or, you know, kids with cash and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's when I really realized it's like, oh shit, you know, I got the cheap clothes on. I got the cheap shoes. I got like some shoes people have never even heard of before. You know, like that's when I started learning about, you know, especially in Alabama, I started learning terms like janky and bobo. People be like, those some bobo ass shoes you got on. Like, oh man, oh no. I had weird style because I'd spent a decent chunk of my, you know, my first 11 years in Europe. Yeah, Bobo Justin Beard. It means like busted. Some busted ass shoes. Bobo. Oh man, I knew what I was looking to check before I came out there. I wanted to see if this refreshed. All right, so refresh the data. Night Harbor. Let's go in here. Go all the way down because I do think it's spaced in order. So that is still there. Let's see if I can kill this now. Okay, I can't. Cool. Got rid of that. Bobo means something else in your house? Oh, I don't know what it means to different people these days. This was very much an old school thing. Bobo shoes must be put in game. It sounds too silly. We can't give you... We could give you a sort of jankiness, though. Two-handed sort of jankiness. What does it do? It's just janky. All right, so let's minimize this. Patty said, I don't think I had a brand name shoe until I was in high school and bought some Vans after shredding 2 or 3 pairs of Payless sneakers in a month or two of skateboard. Yeah, my parents were not happy about the idea of like, you want how much for some shoes you're just going to tear up? I don't think I owned a pair of Vans until I was an adult. I had mainly Airwalk and some Vision streetwear. Oh man. All right, so let's run this really quick. Oh, I'm going to mute. So this is the client that we're essentially, this is our release client. So I did a little quick aesthetic update on the background. Today, art folks, ultimately, I know this is your domain, but I wanted to clean it up a little bit. Oh man, I am going to mess your name up, but I'm sure going to try. I bet you as soon as I say this, I'm going to realize it's like a phrase or something I should actually be able to spot, but Sminakshis Underum? That was not it. You're going to have to give me a nickname, but thank you for the follow. We may make one more attempt at that if you give me phonetics. Stout T said, never personally been into brands, even to this day. Everything I buy is generic, plain, and unbranded, except for my Converses. It's the only type of casual footwear I actually wear. Yeah, so I after years and years and years of only rocking like skate clothes, I got to a point where I wear the same nondescript black slim fit H&M t-shirt because it's just the best fitting one that I found so far. I tend not to wear anything that's branded. I got these wacky jeans though that I'm really liking so far. They were really stiff when I first got them. They're kind of weird. They got like all kinds of crazy hidden pockets and stuff though. But they're by a company that's they are called LMS. If you look up LMS jeans, I've got the LMS mud jeans. They're made by a company that does like tactical gear. But the review form was pretty good, and I was trying to find something that wasn't Levi's because I almost always just wear the same Levi's. Got these. They were iffy at first, but now I really enjoy them. H&M is a Swedish brand, if I'm not mistaken. H&M should be Swedish, but it's popular throughout Europe and I guess US now. All right, so the patcher it's not perfect. So we're using the Sola patcher at the moment, the Solar registration, installer, patcher, launcher. And we are doing that just because the concern has been there's a bit to sort of juggle with payments and dealing with all the different payment stuff and dealing with getting an installer set up. Excuse me. Then having essentially distribution for the installer, the getting the launcher set up like this. I was able to update the visuals on this pretty easily because it's got a content management system that's not hard to use. But so we'd want something that's comparable if we were doing that, and then launcher, and then we want all that. You know, just trying to save on some of the maintenance, the security concerns, the payment concerns, all that stuff. So we're looking at Sola. Sola has been used by Twitch, Roblox, Epic, you know, whatchamacallit, the Crafton, the guys that own, the biggest original, winner, chicken dinner. No, that wasn't them. Shit. Why am I spacing on this Battle Royale game? The big one. Anyway, I was just looking at it earlier. You should know it in like PUBG. Yeah, son of a, yeah, PUBG. Not Fortnite, PUBG, though Fortnite, yeah. But like I said, Epic's use these guys as well. So it's like they've got a kind of they've had some not so good stuff in the past. You know, articles and all that stuff and behavior, but they've also been used by bigger companies, dependable. So it's like, hey, can we just use this for now and then figure it out later? But it's honestly, if anybody from Sola's out there, it hasn't been easy to use your stuff and get answers from you, and your documentation isn't good. Those are my opinions. So, you know, whatever. Shoot me a DM if you disagree. But so we'll figure out after we get friends and family going, because we just really wanted to be able to get some initial folks in and playing with us and test some stuff out and figure out whether or not we are going to be able to use this or have to do our own thing or whatever. It's just the bulk of maybe I'm wrong on this, but it's felt like the bulk of the pain in the ass and just getting to that point where we've got friends and family in and playing with us. It's just mainly been related to dealing with getting builds that would work because of stuff related to this, I don't know, and then other stuff related to the installer and patcher and stuff. So that's, yeah. Ugh. Nicodemus, what are the details on the Epic thing? Or just link an article if you want. You don't have to type all it up. So anyways, so I'm going to hit play. I'm going to see if this actually works. I've muted the background sound just because I don't know what level the music's going to come in at. It may be very loud. If it comes in. So we'll see. All right, we're here now. So the first bug we run into, if you're a friend or family, you'll run into this probably. So nothing's here on server selection. If I hit back, then it goes back and jumps forward, and now server's here. I can pick test server. Let me connect. Oop, my characters are there. I made a new tune earlier. So the stuff's here. Cool. Level 1 human inquisitor. Let's see how loud this is for you. Maybe not too loud. Oh, yeah. I thought they got hit. I remember seeing this, but I didn't dig into it. The COPA violation, right? Yeah, so I don't forget. Let me click on that article. Put it over there. COPA and GDRP are no jokes, especially when you're big companies like this. So it says, I'm going to read this really fast. The maker of the popular online video game Fortnite has agreed to pay a record settlement to resolve charges it violated children's privacy, exposed children and teenagers to potential harassment, and duped players of all ages into making unwanted in-game purchases. Ouch. The FTC announced Monday that North Carolina-based Epic Games will pay a total of $520 million to settle allegations, also known as 2 months worth of Fortnite money. So allegations that it collected personal data from children without first obtaining the consent of their parent or guardian. Epic is also accused of exposing children and teenagers to bullying, threats, harassment, and dangerous and psychological traumatizing issues such as suicide while using Fortnite through the game's default live voice and text function. Players of all ages were tricked into buying online credits via what the FTC called counterintuitive, inconsistent, and confusing button configuration, a phenomenon known as dark patterns that allegedly earned Epic hundreds of millions of dollars, well, billions, in unauthorized charges to consumers. That part, did they say allegedly? I guess at the top of the statement. As part of the settlement, Epic neither confirmed or denied the allegations, though it has agreed to overhaul its privacy policies and chat and text functions, as well as reconfigure how it charges game users. Very curious to see what they do there. Epic put children, in quote, Epic put children and teens at risk through its lax privacy practices and cost consumers millions in illegal charges through its use of dark patterns. Samuel Levine, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, said in a statement, under the proposed orders announced today, the company will be required to change its default settings, return millions to consumers, and pay a record-breaking penalty for its privacy abuses. In a statement on its website, Epic acknowledged the settlement. In quotes, no developer creates a game with the intent of ending up here, it said in part. The video game industry is a place of fast-moving innovation where player expectations are high and new ideas are paramount. Statutes written decades ago don't specify how gaming ecosystems should operate. The laws have not changed, but their application has evolved and long-standing industry practices are no longer enough. We accept this agreement because we want Epic to be at the forefront of consumer protection and provide the best experience for players. According to Wall Street Journal, Epic was recently valued at $32 billion. Fortnite alone has made $5.5 billion in 2018 and $3.7 billion in 2019 and enjoys nearly 400 million users worldwide. So, it says that they just settled and not let it go. Yeah, this was way cheaper. So, what, 500 million? And fire back some charges back to folks. Yeah, 520 million. I guess that gets it out of the way. Yeah, I mean, it's tough for them. It's still 500 million is 500 million. But it's tougher for a mid-sized or a small company to get tagged with a GDPR or COPPA violation than it is, these bigger companies, because ultimately these bigger companies can pay the 500 million and move on. So I think we're loading in the background here. Earlier today it was taking quite a while. And I'm very curious. That'll be something that I need to bring up, and see if there's something. I just realized, I can't send a single message in Slack or anywhere else at this point without just some egregious typo. I'm getting worse and worse at either touch typing or just thinking at this point. There goes the Christmas bonuses. Oh, I hope not. Hopefully that didn't impact anybody. All right. So what's going on back here, guys? Let's see. Is it because I've got so many damn applications opened? Maybe that's the thing. Should I shut Unity? Should I stop streaming? No. I hear music in the background. So I've shut that. Shut Unity Hub as well. Oh, come on now. Give it the old Alt-Enter. I was going to try to not click on anything so that this didn't happen. The scary white screen. There we go. Now I'm in. Better than Blue Screen of Death? Yeah, I had a few of those when I first started streaming. Had a lot of issues when I first started streaming. Darga said I had to step away for a while. Did I miss the announcement of the date for Q1 public testing? No, you didn't. Corthan said, nah, just the key giveaway. I won't even joke about that. It's a very important thing for folks. I get it. I don't want to make jokes. Playing with my playtest date is like playing with my emotions, Smokey. Seb, Pwn You, reminds me of some old MMO games I used to play back in the days. That's the plan, right? There you go. That is... So we're over the target. Alright, so let's scribe some of these. I'll put in my abilities. And what is this? This is strength. And then I'll put in my spell. They're different tabs. Vagrant, enjoy work as much as you can. Merry Christmas to you. Alright, so let's run through the city. I need to take this note to Jafar. So yeah, frame rate's a lot better in the built client than running it in editor. Are there any people in here that aren't familiar with what we're doing? This has just been such a, like, locals, regulars kind of stream today because of the holidays that I haven't really been on top of my, like, promotion game. Question in the UI in the inventory for the XP bar. Is there a text percent showing, or is it just the bar showing the amount? We'll see. I could have sworn that it was just the bar. I could have sworn, but I may be wrong. Let me get some experience in a second. I may be wrong on that. Keep in mind, all of this is very placeholder. The game is very much in development. If you're new here, you can see placeholder textures and block out and all that stuff, so... So if you're absolutely new here, here's our Discord. Join the hundreds of bots that are currently joining as we speak. Oops. I think I went the wrong way. I did go the wrong way. I did go the wrong way, and there's not a... It may be just as quick to sort of run through the Necro... Shadow Knight area here, and then just go out through the Newbie yard and back in. Pony, you said, been tuning in a little bit now and then when I see you in the category on Twitch. Well, thank you for that. Gulo said, it's not the wrong way, just a scenic route. Fair. It's still daytime, so this area is not quite as treacherous. I made this into like a little bit of a newbie yard as well, and during the day we've got these recruits out here just beating everything up. So it stays pretty lean. But they go in at night and leave the yard up to its own devices, and it can be a little bit dangerous for a newbie. I didn't take the time to memorize any of my abilities.
Happy holidays, and the city is looking awesome.
Thank you for that, and happy holidays to you. Yeah, these beetles are all very aggro. Corp Jazzman, appreciate the 3 months. Seb Ponyu, thank you for the follow. Slam? Panic MTG, good morning. Uh-oh, it's turning nighttime right now and I'm sitting here in harm's way. But there's a guard nearby. Oh shit, there's actually not a guard nearby. He just wandered over here. Is Goblin going to be painting all the materials for textures, or will we use third-party materials? We won't be using any third-party unless we commission them. Some of the stuff that you're seeing, a lot of the stuff that you're seeing, like Ollie did the sand, the stuff that the rock texture, placeholder rock texture was done as part of our sort of initial interaction with an art house a while back, who would be rad to work with again. Some of the other textures you see were done by an artist we commissioned early on named Marie, who's a painter and illustrator. I think we are one of the first things she'd ever messed with in 3D. So the team will be working on textures, and then we'll look at over time if we need to supplement their bandwidth, basically. Then we'll look at outsourcing some of that, if we can find the right vendors. Essentially, if the vendor we were using before for some stuff, kind of testing out their stuff, is still available, then we'll definitely use them as well, because they're very cool folks and got what we were doing and stuff. It was just, once we got artists on the team, rather than continue to spend money on outsourcing, it's like, all right, let's try to do as much as this ourselves for now, so that we can just sort of save those costs and see what the team's capable of. Those of you that are brand new here, this northern newbie art is basically, it's just got a bunch of mobs plopped in a volume, but there's been really no work done on it. Because as Pattis is working around through these districts, it's just now sort of making it so that it's used, like this area of Night Harbor is used more, so that's why it's not lit and stuff like that. But in the meantime, we've gone ahead and just moved NPCs around to where they're probably going to be as the blockouts coming online. Wonder if that guard stays out of place on the kill too. Interesting test. We can test that with a couple of other guards later. Oops, I don't need to be there. How did the docks look in game that you worked on a few days ago? The stuff that's mainly been Simon on the docks, we can run over there in a minute. I don't think there's an easy way up to where we need to go right now, and without going around. So I guess this really was the scenic route. Maybe the guards in general are subtly protesting their static assignments. Yeah, it's funny, the more we start adding in little behaviors and stuff for NPCs, the more it's like, oh shit, what kind of precedent are we setting in terms of, does every NPC need a routine now? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the guards formed a union. That'd be a nice plot hook for some content. Because we've got the city guard, we've got the red mantles that work for the Langsdorfian League. We haven't really gone into detail with regards to some of the... Can I get up there? I think I can get up there. I could have sworn I could get up there. Yeah, we haven't gotten into details on the Bahara's factions. I don't know. I don't know that I can get up there. I'm trying to remember. I thought there was a path up there before. I think I just ran by it. Yeah, I'm trying to get up to where... Oh! I forgot we moved him. I'm completely dumb in the wrong spot. Okay, I can get to everything I need to get to, Pattis. Don't worry. I don't need to get up to High Point Terrace. I just need to actually go up to the right building in Sage Side instead of being a dummy. We're good. We're good. Can't remember the Ixar's name, but was always at Freeport Docks. Ixar SK on your server like 15 years ago, always AFK, would always say you wanted to be wanted Protector of Freeport title. Did he ever do it? Did he get his title? Good morning, Dark Inside. Did you modify the tower? The tower looks like it's different, but I don't know that I want to jump up there yet. But fall damage isn't that bad, so maybe it won't be that bad. Anyways, I needed to run past the temples into this building over here. Gotta go grocery shopping. Grocery shopping for like holiday stuff? Or just normal groceries? Okay, you haven't touched it. Okay. Just normal food. Well, alright. It's not quite as fun. Cool, there is actually no... Yeah, it's just there's no percentage on there. Ponu, you've asked, it has been answered. Would be neat if there's a percentage showing. I know that was eventually added to the UI back in the day, but this one will also be a lot easier to read when it's, I think if you go back to, what month was the concept in? We did some UI concepting and we had an update that month. September? If you go back through some of the old updates, you'll see some of what we're doing with the UI once we iterate beyond this. Let's go through the updates on the website. Cool. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to run through the quest in detail. No spoilers. There's stuff that I'm going to let you get stuck on your own later. Alright, so she gave me a magic stone. It serves as a little light source. I've got a bag to put some stuff in. And now I can head back to town. Head back to where the action is. Anybody in the zone with me? Muhammad is. Cool. We've got a fighter in the zone. So, you had asked about the the harbor. So we'll run through there on the way. I really love the little banners and entrance and structure here. Dug it ever since the concept. I love that you can see Fallen Watch all the way in the distance from here. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit more on the audio for you guys. Oh, look. As we go and get all the lighting and everything done, iterate on the city, there's going to be so many fun just views. Areas where you can go and just see cool shit. Let me see if I can hop over here really quick. This will be an actual legit shortcut. Cool. So I will run towards the harbor area. We'll run through there a little bit and then... Oh man, there's a complete shortcut through this giant structure that I could have taken. But then you wouldn't be seeing this. There's the moon for the moon expansion. We have 3 moons for that reason. All of our expansions. Ratcatcher like from the SSS? From... No, Ratcatcher is just... I think it was... I had the words test character and threw it in an anagram thing. Suicide Squad? No. So it's just an anagram for test character with some letters removed. All right, so this is the upper area of the harbor. Stuff that Simon's been working on. So we'll have Elementalist Guild up here. We'll have the Monk Guild up here as well. The park area we're just in has the Druid, Shaman, and Beastmaster guilds. Let's see if we got a little view from up here. Can see the district pretty well. And then heading this way, we'll eventually go through this harbor district and into the Riverbend district, which is more of it's a seedier sort of rundown part of Night Harbor, and so that's a primarily adventure area. Can you transform into animals as a druid, or is it a healer class? To the best of my recollection and knowledge, it's both. I think there's some discussion about the degree to which Beast Lord versus Druid with regards to animal transformations and stuff like that will run, but Druid is one of our healers. We'll run over here. I saw this go in. There's a little sneaky entrance to some, like a sewer area back that way. Hey, Aaron Gunn. Talent trees or AA lines? You'll have to check in with us later for that. Love the style of the areas. Can't wait to see it colorized, modeled, finished out, propped up. Absolutely. Pretty tight. As a druid, if you shape change to, let's say, a rat, can you change the name of your avatar to a rat? That is not something that I think we've discussed. I think that would be... That could be, as the kids these days say, problematic, potentially. No idea. So I'm going to run back to the Newbie area now. Tikan, I don't think that is actually something that kids these days would say. I've heard bussin'. The rest of it just sounds like something you made up. But I thought bussin' was a good thing. You have 3 teenage daughters? I'm so sorry. The guys that speak literally like this, no guys that I would allow around my daughters would speak that way. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Golden Gloves. Good day. Alright, so we're going to run back up here. Organic cacao, thank you for 2 months. Will the city of Night Harbor support my coffee business if I set up shop like in a seedy part of town? Potentially. That may be a thing that you can try to pull off. Maybe. Blacksmithing supplies. May need to move some guys over. Maybe in here? Nick's set up some dudes that sell some patterns and things like that. So it may move them from where they're at over into that area to sort of continue to flesh out the... But I think we're going to need to rearrange some folks. Rumple foreskin. Not a holiday story. I was like, Rumpelstiltskin, was that holidays? No. No. Oh, the names that I get to read out here. Well, thank you for the follow. Yeah, so like the blacksmithing patterns and stuff may move that guy over there. Will my gang of gnomes be able to strong arm his coffee business for protection money? That may be possible as well. Gosh, guys, it's 4 p.m. and I am hungry already. Curious to see if this guy that's supposed to path actually makes it through the doorway this time, or if he just keeps popping around. So we'll keep an eye on it. Old Rumpel said, I read your bio and it's amazing the things you've done. Well, thank you for saying that. I've had a couple of cool jobs. I am happy they let me do them. Oh, I think what I did was because he was kind of being a problem. He wasn't pathing through the door anymore. We'll see if it's still a problem that this bartender... Oh, the barkeep is actually there, so that's good. So I wonder, at some point, this sailor will probably... It'll probably be the sailor. We'll get thirsty and walk in here for a drink. Now I'm very curious to see if it happens. Come on, dude. But I think what I did was, it was just, he was having so many problems getting there and doing his thing that I just set the frequency with which he does it to be very infrequent. Your frog allies will protect you from the gnomes? I don't know about that. Because your frog allies taste like delicious swamp chicken. Okay, so let's go kill some stuff. Gasp. Gasp, he says. Gasp. All right. So the quest I got though, spoiler, let me see if the guys are there. Barbecued froglock and a nice cold beer. Mmm. Some fried gator tail. Nope, they're not here. They are not here. Alright. I'll come back and check and see if those quest guys are here later. Oh, sun's coming up. Let's see if we can... Yeah, let's see if we can get somewhere cool to watch the sun come up. Just in case some of you are new here. Man, I am excited for Christmas. I'm excited. I love going and visiting the in-laws. So, yeah. Amped. Amped. Okay, the captain of the watch is where he's supposed to be. I saw him pathing some random ass places recently. My camera's banging against the parapet, or the, what's it called? Not parapet. The little pointy things. Ventali says, I hope you have a good holiday. Looking forward to ours as well. Right on. I'm excited when people are excited about the holidays. The Christmas spirit. Yeah, all my family's in the US, so it's rad to be able to... Merry Christmas, a watchman. It's rad to be able to go to hang out with folks and eat and be festive and stuff. And man, Jasmine's family is really good about making sure that I get all the food and drinks that I need in order to feel completely satiated. Yeah, so we missed the sunrise, but Let me see. Can I get out of here by jumping without dying? Because our fall damage is not very strict at the moment. But I have been known to, oh, there's some gators. Some crocodiles. Okay, cool. With our current player controller, it's not super hard to avoid fall damage. So. Ventali said, I wasn't feeling the Christmas spirit too much this year, but went out to look at lights in the neighborhoods last night, and someone nearby had their whole house decked out, lawn to roof, was handing out hot chocolate and popcorn to everybody who came by to see the display. Immediately huge Christmas spirit rush. True that. The Christmas markets here are fantastic. Didn't go very often this year. I mean, because evenings are kind of the best time to be able to chat with the team and stuff. So I try to be a little bit better about being available this season. But we went out. We had some nice mulled wine and stuff like that the other week. So that's pretty good. I don't know. It's hit me a little bit. Christmas spirit's hit me a little bit because I get to talk to you guys and hang out and think about hopefully all of you having really nice holiday and stuff. So that puts me in a good mood. But I'd say the landing at, when we get to Jasmine's dad's house tomorrow evening, that's when it's going to sink in. Get there, he's going to immediately be like, drink, food. And then he's going to start speaking to me in a German dialect that I just don't understand. My German's not horrific. But he speaks Kölsch. And so Kölsch-Deutsch is a bisschen schwer. So it's a little hard. It's a little hard. Jasmine's like, when we first went down there, she's like, don't feel bad. I had a German boyfriend that I brought down here once that didn't understand him. Walking around Christmas market with some Glühwein is such a nice feeling. Golden gloves, it is. It really is. It truly is. Hamburg. So I really haven't gotten out and been to a lot of the Christmas markets here in Bremen. Ooh, this rat keeps running off, regenning, and coming back and oh, I am dead. I was not watching my 6. Oh, come on, don't get another hit on me. Okay, good. Alright, guard Adnan, are you gonna just sit there or stand there now? What are you gonna do? Nope, he's going back. See, it's inconsistent. Alright, so let me turn around and see what's coming at me. Hey, Fortress. Justin said after groceries arrive, I'm going to eat some caffeine powder and get as much gaming in as possible before the power goes out. Be safe with the caffeine powder. Inconsistent or dynamic? Fair point, Econ. Maybe this is not a bug. Maybe his behavior is a feature. Keith just posted in Slack, gotta love when 1.5 hours of debugging is because of one little line of code. Of course it is. Of course it's just one little line of code. At least it was only 1.5 hours. it's funny how much time is spent in just content creation of going, this really should work. I don't understand why it's not working. Seven hours later, someone realizes there was a missed bracket. Hmm. And also, it worked yesterday. Yes. And it worked on my machine. Oh, shit. Help me. Thank you. Or when an errant closing bracket doesn't get picked up by the IDE for some reason. Hmm. Definitely a different experience than playing on my Necro. Keep re-rolling Necros. It's been a lot easier with them. That little Ashira scout's got a big axe. Golden Glove says, I've been a big fan of working with Rust lately. The compiler yells at you if you sneeze the wrong way. Can you show off a spellcaster class? I was actually doing the opposite today for a change. Oops. If there, come on, let me get this. Cool. Finally got myself one. Got some rat meat. Just need to rest up. If there are any more folks out there that just are brand new to the game and want to see me play a caster class or whatever, I can pop over to something in a minute. The Shira are now walking. What kind of devilry is this? It's true. It's true. They've got some animations in now. I don't know officially what state they're in, but they're in. Is it weird that you kind of missed the marshmallow models? Gulo, no. We're very fond of the old capsule people and capsule critters. It was a different time. Those of you that may not know what we're talking about there, check out our YouTube. The landing page video is our 2-year retrospective that gets into, it basically shows all of the placeholder art that we were using for the first year. GMFD says, hello Mr. Robots. Love watching this game progress. Been watching a lot of VODs. Glad to catch a live stream. Glad to have you here. Thanks for watching the VODs. Capsules, the Elder Gods. The ancients that came before the world was formed. When the world was just a flat plain. And the capsule god said, let there be Blender. And the plane was deformed. And it was good. I'm gonna avoid her. Alright, my defense is increased to 1, so the experience is about to start flowing, boys. Some more rat meat, a rat's ear, delicious. We're on a roll. Was that a knoll? No golden gloves. That was an Ashira. Our knolls will look different. The Ashira are they're their own thing. Okay. Apparently this rat is a little bit, oh my goodness, a little bit more legit than the last rat. Boom. Turned his back on me and he got slammed for it. I'm the only one in the zone at the moment. Could a melee class like Rogue have a dirty trick ability that may help the class keep mobs from running off too far? I wouldn't be shocked if we wind up with some stuff like that. Good questions for Nick. Rats are social animals. It's befitting its kin. Thankfully, they're not social in here. That would actually be a pain in the ass. They'd gang up on me. So if you just tuned in, we're playing right now in the in our essentially on our test server, not the development server, but on our test server in the client, the release client that is essentially what we'll see where we wind up landing with regards to installer and launcher and patcher and all that stuff early next year. See if we continue to sort of work through the challenges that we've been having with the system that we're using here, or if we roll up our own, or what we wind up doing. But this is our launcher that we've got set up for now. And we're playing on that client right now in anticipation for preparation for getting a few folks in to help us test this out, and then get us prepped for playtest, development, open playtest next year. Golden Glove says, please avoid WebView 2 engine for the sake of Linux Proton compatibility. That sounds like a comment for Ollie. Now, engine, you mean, when you say engine in terms of installer, or because we're using Unity, which despite Ollie trying to instigate it, I did not call Unreal this time. Are old school hybrid classes like SK and Ranger being treated like mixes of other classes, or are they getting more unique identity? If I'm not mistaken, the discussion to date has been that we want to push them to feel a little bit more like their own class, but there's still going to be that pull where you can see where they've got linked to, other classes. Leon, the Dapper Shark, said this is pretty cool. Thank you. Name-based aggro. Rat sees rat catcher attacks. Monster sees anyone with leet speak name attacks. That's funny. Only it was so easy. Nicodemus says, show us the features of the client, or have you already done that and I missed it? What do you mean? It's similar to the what you see when I'm playing an editor. Though there are a couple issues, right? There's something like when I'm playing an editor, you don't see some of these texture issues that happen when we build this release client. Little things like that. So it's not perfectly one for one, but for the most part it's the same. Oh, patch screen with the patch notes. Yeah, so this is all currently just using Sola. So if you know, if you're having issues getting in, like I couldn't get in earlier, I hit repair and that seemed to fix it. Takes you to our website, takes us to YouTube. Patch notes. Account stuff. Multiple games for later in our life. What is the icon at top left? It's almost messed that up. It's a niche world's cult icon, little company icon. Pretty placeholdery. We rarely have need to use it, so we don't necessarily show it a bunch. There aren't many skeletons at the moment because in this newbie yard, when the Ashira are running around, between the Ashira and the jackals, man, I'm getting worked by this bat. Between the Ashira and the jackals, the undead do not stand very much of a chance of staying alive out here at the moment. Okay, this isn't going to happen, I don't think. Is my hat green or did I take a sip from an invis potion? The hat is magic. Can I try and pull a jackal to the guard? Will a jackal pup be okay for you? What is it that you would like to see? Why do you want me to do that? There must have been some magic in that old green hat he found. That's gonna be on my mind the whole rest of the night, Nicodemus. Good job. I've got to admit, I may pop onto another melee class in a little bit. See what it feels like as well. Because I was talking all this smack about the game just feeling too easy when I was on the Necro. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Hit him for 8. Alright, that was nice. Okay, there we go. That snake felt a little bit better. last time I killed or last time the guard bugged out, I killed a jackal. Wasn't sure if it's type of mob. I thought it had to do with Ashira warriors, so I actually tested that earlier today before the stream. I was pulling in different mobs, and I thought at some point I isolated it to Ashira warriors for whatever reason. I was like, I don't know why that would work that way. I don't know if it's a faction thing or what happened there, but it wasn't. I got tricked. Now I'm a little scared of bats, but I think it was just the RNG that got me. Dude, that was a lot of missing on my part. But then hitting them for 7 and 8. That's pretty spiky. Let me go buy a torch. I'll sell some of this meat that I've been gathering first. See if these quest guys are around. Don't see them. Alright, so some rat ears. Batwing. Some rat meat. When the cook of the inn is buying rat meat and rat ears from strangers, then you've really got to worry about the quality of the dining. Should light sources affect your chance of landing a hit on a mob? Oh man. I think that would... It's a fun, like, RPG question. I think that would be a bit... It's funny, that was like half of my cash for this torch. But I wanted to show it off. Oh, this guy. Does he just climb over the wall still? Nope. Do you remember when I was doing the Shadow Knight quests? And this guy started punching me in the face. So Nicodemus, interesting concept. I just... I don't know that we want to go that far. He says, "Get out of my sight. I have no time for you." He's not a nice guy. Hey Ollie, what is this game? Hard to code. Light sources have spheres. If players in a light source sphere, then we're manipulating their stats. I don't know that it's necessarily hard to code. I think it's more of a question of, do we want that level of... Do we want that sort of level of complexity? It's not even really complexity, right? What's a good way to articulate the concern? That sounds like a CPU load nightmare at scale. There you go, Ollie. Nice technical reason. Ultravision OP. Finks, fair enough. Finks, are you related to Fink the rat in Evercraft Online who stole our design document? No rat association. That rat killed more people than any other mob in that test. It's because of all the power he derived from our design document. Today has been the day for names. Follower number 4102. Fart while I make my tart. Thank you for the follow. Now I'm killing stuff. Gulo says, if you're going to go that far, why not make it so your eyes will adapt to darkness over time, giving you better vision? And then when someone pulls out a torch, you're blinded for a period of time. Ali said, no joke, I had it that way early on, then realized I went too realistic. Telling you, Ali's a wild man if you don't watch him. This is coming down to the wire. I dinged. Congrats me. Now let me avoid this Ashura scout. Yep. It's after me. It's after me. I really don't want to D-level. Oh, that was so close. That Ashura almost got me. Hit me. Oh man. I almost D-leveled on that one. Fink said, game's looking really great. I remember you talking about this idea. Can't wait to try it out someday. We're excited to have you guys in. That's what we're working on right now. Just making it so that we're going to be able to have some play tests as we go while we develop. We are targeting early next year. And yeah, so I'm excited. We're in here. We're on the client. We're not in the editor. It's working. Stout T said, I don't want to go ahead and do it without your permission, although I believe I found a way to play the game. If you're being serious, if it's not a joke, then you should hit Ali up or me in DMs. And let us know what you found. If it's a joke, then I'll wait for the rest of it. Shall you try to get in first? Sure. That will be your reward for finding it and then letting us know. As I'm clipping other stuff, the beetle population is just growing. Here I am. J-Dub says, I'd like to help us test. Been following the channel for a while, watching some parts of the VODs. Excited about the game. Right on. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Early next year, we're gonna have at least one public playtest early next year sometime. But I mean, that's our hope. Please, come on, don't kill this skeleton. I want them. They drop good stuff. But we'll see what happens when we have that one. Maybe that'll be the one and only for a while, but the goal is to, maybe I should target him. The goal is to get there. Yums Wishes says, love the sky and the ambiance. Thank you. I thank you on behalf of the team. The best place to get info on public playtests? Would it be just the game website? No, join our mailing list. Join our mailing list. Be a member of our Discord. We take those numbers seriously. We like it when those numbers get bigger. Yep. Alright. Let me heal to max and then I'll try that scout. Right on, J-Dub. Thank you. I got 4 silver. Man, it's a trek over to the other side of town. But let me go ahead, sell some things. I'll run over. I tell you what, we'll try this Ashira Scout, but still around. As soon as I'm full, boom. Ashira Scout, where did you go? Oh, there you are. And we'll see what happens here. If we get some... Oh, it's just consistently whapping me for... That's rough. Repeated 7 points damage, so... Run it to the guard, and then... Oh, and then just keep going. And I'm going to run and grab a couple of spells. Oh. It's not a lot of cash, but let me sell what I do have here. And while I'm on the way. Oh, there's one of the travelers. Get the best price, so I will go to this guy here. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want fur. Cool. Up. Osmodius, who's there? Oh, I don't want to do it, but I can't. I'm compelled to do it. Dishes who? This is Sean Connery. Alright, that was worth it. Oh, man. Alright. Not bad at all. Welcome. Says first time chat. First time chat, you come out with that knock knock joke? That's legit. Dishes. Oh man. Kind of it makes me want to go back and watch all the old Bond films. That guy was so epic. Stout Tea, are you in? Let me check. Nope, it's just me in here so far. Bear with you? You live in the countryside? Long old download times. Okay. Ollie, you still around there somewhere? So if you don't make it in before the end of the stream, you still got to hit me up on the DM, right? Quick question. When it comes to expanding a multiplayer game to another region, why do most developers use third-party publishers instead of doing it themselves? So this may not be the perfect answer. Others out there may have better answers for you, but in my experience, what I've seen is a lot of times our regional partners will have better access or understanding of marketing and distribution channels. And so you work with them just because it's easier to just kind of go through them to get the marketing that you need or distribution that you need. If you're doing culturalization or you know, other things beyond just maybe a localization in terms of just like VO or text or whatever, then those partners will often have a better understanding of how to properly culturalize the game. Depending on the country, there may be certain laws, some being more intense than others. Like, you know, it could be that certain countries really you can't do business without working through a specific like local company. And so there's just a whole bunch of stuff like that that you take into consideration. And then the other thing too is you'll usually have your product development team, marketing teams, or you know, certain operations functions pulled off to the side, support, you know, all these things. They'll be separate. It won't necessarily all be embedded in one team. And even if it was, the problem that you have is a lot of times teams are already pretty much tapped with regards to resources. So the team doesn't really have the bandwidth to do it, right? And so little stuff adds up really quickly. Again, when we were talking about this, we've actually been jumping through a ton of hoops getting this installer, patcher, launcher to work. And the challenge that we wind up with then is, if we didn't do that, then we'd be building our own, maintaining our own. You know, if we're using a service like Solar or Steam or Epic Store or whatever, they're handling payments. Payments can be an entire huge thing as well, right? Like, so payments depending on like what payment sort of provider or services you're using, they may or may not support all of the different payment systems that exist in a given region. Like one region or one country may use more sort of like banking, direct bank payments. Other countries like Poland is known for not really liking to do online payments. And so things like payment cards and stuff like that could work better. You've got countries, depending on the country, the localization or the regional partner may to give you pricing information and really be like, hey, we know that your game is priced at such and such, but it's just absolutely will not sell in this country or this region. So you've got to provide a different sort of payment option. It's honestly the reason why free-to-play, you know, one of the reasons why free-to-play is you see it kind of all over the place is because there are a lot of countries where I worked on a game that was free-to-play that had a huge presence in, I mean, it wasn't huge, right? The game only had like 450,000 monthly active users. But the game had 450,000 monthly active users with about 45,000 monthly pay users. So, you know, essentially 10% of our players paid in any way. And it still generated between like on average 1.5 to 2 million euro a month. So relatively small game, 400,000 monthly active users, free to play with 45,000 pay users on average, generating 1.5 to 2 million. And the thing is, the game was PvP, so it needed to have players in it as well. You know, and so being free to play, it makes sense because it gives you bodies. And then you've got your high pay users, which are carrying the bulk of that weight. And I think that it wouldn't have been as popular in a couple of the countries that it was popular in if it wasn't priced in the way that it was. First of all, it's free, but then there are a lot of like in Turkey, we had a lot of sales that were like Turkish lira. You know, you could get X for 1 Turkish lira, that kind of thing, right? Like, and it was known at like the internet cafes and stuff like that in Turkey just because of our regional partners. So let me Inquisitor Spell Merchant. So level 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, the only thing I can actually pick up is Minor Spell Shield at the moment. I thought he had some more stuff. 4, I get Kick ability. 5, I get Mesmerized. I don't need Polar Align. I know my cardinal directions in this zone. Yeah, I'll get Torment for later, so I don't necessarily need to run back here. Even though I don't have a backpack, so I guess I can throw it in the bank. Lumberknock says, first time watching, can someone give me a quick overview on what this has been built in? How long's it been worked on so far? Big EQ vibes in a very positive way from what I can see. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we've got a lot of different inspiration. Oh man, sun's coming up. But oh, you know what? I think the teleporter down here should still be active. No? Yeah, cool. You can see it over some of the placeholder geometry over there. Yeah. If we could be by the water, that'd be a little bit more epic. I wonder if I'm gonna die, because there's no teleporter down yet. Alright. Please don't die. Please don't die. Okay, 14 damage wasn't bad. Lumberknock. I tell you what, one of the easiest ways to see the progress overall is if you go to our YouTube. When you land there, the trailer video is actually, it chronicles with everything, you know, screenshots and everything else. It chronicles the development for the last 2 years. So the game's been in development just over 2 years. It started as a discussion that we were having on stream about things that we like from classic MMOs. My background is I used to work on the EverQuest team from about 2000 to 2004-ish. That was my first job in the industry. Oops. And I've got to admit, there's a lot of stuff. I've only worked on MMOs ever since then. And there's a lot of stuff that we did back then that was considered like duct tape and chicken wire and not the best way to do things or not the best design or whatever. But over all the years of working on games, a lot of that stuck with me, and I was like, man, you know what? I actually think a lot of that was pretty okay, pretty interesting, pretty decent way to make content with lower overhead than the games I've worked on since then. I like the fidelity of gameplay in the older games. I like camping and grinding and shit like that. And so we started having that conversation on stream and started talking about, okay, given how much cool knowledge and experience there is in the various MMO emulator communities, if you look, there's EQ emulators, Vanguard emulators, WoW emulators, EQOA emulators, right? And there's an amazing like abundance of knowledge there that is, you know, on par with people that I've worked with in the industry. And so we formed a game just through people within the community. We started talking more and put together a team. And so the 4 of us worked on it for the first year, and then the second year we put out a call for more help, and we've since grown the team to I can't get up there. We've since grown the team to 14 people, thereabouts. And the idea is essentially taking some of the things that we don't look. This is all not finished or in any way or presentable, but I fell somewhere and well, shit. Maybe I can cheat my way up that wall and get over here instead of running all the way around. And this is not a GM client, so I'm not able to really cheat sheet at the moment. So anyway, can I get up there? Oh, come on. No, is there? No. Oh man. Oh yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, so everybody's dedicating their spare time to the development of it. Over the last 2 years, because of that, we've been able to spend, you know, very little cash on stuff that we maybe didn't have. In the first year, we didn't have artists on the team, so we did some iteration on art, just using contractors. And if I was on the GM client, I could show you just how big and elaborate all of this area is. But I would need to, I can load up Unity in a second and maybe show that off. But yeah, the expenses have been kept to a minimal. It's mainly been legal expenses, some art contracting, and then you know, a lot of monthly software and some sort of recurring contract work that we put out. So that's allowed us to make it so far, this proof of concept, without a huge invest, which also means that we can keep it very niche in terms of being very specific with our gameplay. And you know, the type of game that we're trying to make. We're not, you know, our goal isn't to get, I don't want to say our goal, you know, our intent isn't to basically spend a bunch of cash and then need to get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Our goal is to make a very sort of specific game that, you know, if we get tens of thousands of subscribers, then we'll be extremely successful and we'll be able to grow it. So, and this is where the volume stops working for whatever reason. So now I'm just kind of chilling underwater, but I could have sworn there was a way up here somewhere. Are you using Crest Ocean Shader? We are. So we basically made everything ourselves so far. If you look around, you can see it, with the exception of Crest. These placeholder icons, they both came with John when he came on the team. He was like, hey, check these out. Because he's shipped multiple indie games himself in Unity. And 2 of his games, both Salt and Salt 2, which is just come out on Steam and being expanded with updates as we go. So check it out. He was like, I like this water shader that I've used. Wanna check it out? We checked it out, thought it was really cool, and so we went with it. Let's see. Speaking of expenses, how much of Twitch, sub, and YouTube revenue goes to development of the game versus the individual streamer? I would have to. I haven't really checked with the other guys, but I'd have to say that, or I can say that all of the revenue that comes in via Twitch, you know, from my end just goes back into those expenses. If anything, I forgot when I moved to Germany from Sweden, I didn't update my PayPal. So I basically had this year's Twitch money sitting there, and it just went into PayPal, which is nice because then we use that on monthly expenses and stuff as well. So that's been helpful. Mancubi says, I'm at Asset Networking, so I'm using Fishnet for multiplayer because of the performance ability to support large-scale online games. Were you the one that was just talking about Ali? Talking to Ali about LightNet Lib and stuff like that. So we started with ML API, and now we're using LightNet Lib. But Ali's the man to talk to about networking and all that wonderful stuff. Not me. Or if one of the other programmers is listening in. Cool. More rat meat for me. Let me avoid this jackal and let me run to the zone line. Yep, Pata says everything I've gotten from Twitch subs has gone in software license, mostly my InSpeed tree when I activate. Yeah. Yeah, my assumption is based on the fact that no one's getting paid, that any money that comes in is basically going into to pay for the things that they're paying for out of pocket potentially. Oh, you're Taldarian in the Discord. Okay. I was associating it with this name, but I think you'd asked me originally about it. Do we plan on having functional boats for travel? Bob Couch? Yes. Eventually. We had a working sort of old school taxi boat going. And then we ran into some issues with it after it killed one of our team members, and they have been disabled. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Swanee? I think I covered everything. Still waiting, Stout Tea. And I don't take that as me doubting you. Be very curious to see what comes of that. Chaz Solo, thank you for 6 months. Okay, yeah, hit me up. I'll keep an eye out. If you don't get a hold of me, you know how to find Ali on Discord, right? But I am always open. Always got ears out for that type of thing. Because, yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can see you in our DB. Got some old school load time going on there. I'm try to avoid things that can eat me for now, since I don't necessarily want to zone back across. Like this pup. What's the first letter of the name that I would be looking at in that information? Anything referring to stout tea? Okay. So I don't see anything yet. But I'm looking in the... Where I'm looking may not be the place that I need to look. I can't wait till we've got swimming in. These guys actually fire off a swimming animation. That's gonna be cool. Nicodemus? Take care. Have a Merry Christmas. Oh, that's a great point. I will probably not be on Tuesday. I think we're coming back on Tuesday. So it'll be Wednesday and Thursday, or just Thursday, or Thursday and Friday. So I'll be back next Thursday for sure. But I will very likely not be on Tuesday. Cool. Have a great one. Enjoy the holiday. Hopefully everything is awesome. Now, T, I will check something else then and see. Being quiet on my end because I am looking and reading and stuff. Yep, I actually see you. I'm not trying to waste any of your time in case it's false positive, so don't feel the need to hold up the stream. No worries, no worries. I fired off a message to Ollie. Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? And Kubi said, oh yeah, as he was talking about DB, I have a question. In a database, how do you handle knowing who is part of the guild in the game? Is there a unique ID that you use to reference the player in the database? I actually don't know. I don't know the details on how we would set it up, but my assumption is that it's essentially just a flagging or, yeah, sorry, distracted by response from Ollie. So we've got that information, and so I'm assuming it's just sort of like the flagging or field in the DB that makes the association there, and it works with however the system's structured to manage that. And that's the most hand wavy, least sort of clear explanation I could give you, but. Said that he found a way to down access the game. But he's on a terribly slow connection, so not in yet. But we can talk to him offline. Okay. Yeah, so well, because you mentioned it. I wouldn't have known your piss poor internet if you hadn't mentioned it. So the question that we'll have is so we'll have questions for you, but the real question we'll have is if you're able to actually get in. But still want to follow up with you offline about the general approach that you took. And it's very kind of you. Stout T said I work in cybersecurity, the non-programming kind, so I love to do this for indie projects. No, it's very cool. We appreciate it. Our hope, so we've been basically showing the development of the game from the very beginning, with the understanding that you know, we're not going away for a couple of years building our game and then going, hey everybody, look what we made, and then you know, mitigating the ability for people to leverage our ideas or, you know, make something similar or whatever. And the goal is just to have this be something where we are always interacting with the community. We're learning as we go, which has absolutely been the case. We're vetting our ideas as we go. We're demonstrating our, you know, confidence in our ability to deliver on the ideas, all that stuff. And so the assumption has been that we'll absolutely run into scenarios in which stuff like this pops up. And hopefully we've built enough goodwill with all of you that when you find shit like this, you're like, hey, look what I found. And then we just keep making things better. So Ollie's, yeah, I think the explanation that you would give Ollie was not going to be a surprise to Ollie at all. It sounds like, but it'll still be fun to catch up with you, and it sounds like he's kind of aware of at least this part of it, but we should be relatively secure beyond what you were able to do. But we'll let you finish downloading and see if that winds up being the case. So, with it being 5:10 p.m. on my end, as much as I hate to go, Stout T needs an in-game cameo. A sneaky someone in the Rogue Guild wearing a white hat. Nice. Well, like I said, it'll be fun to catch up with you after the stream and see what's what. Lumberknock, thank you for the follow. I've got the feeling I think I might have answered your question there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up, get ready for the holidays. Like I said, I will not be streaming on Tuesday. Most likely I'll be coming back from Cologne. But then I'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. Everybody, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. As I mentioned earlier, for the at least one pagan loved one on the team, happy or whatever you say, what was it, Saturnalia or winter solstice or whatever you just celebrated. If you've got another holiday that you're into, feel free to fire it out up here. And you know what, I want everybody to have a very safe, hopefully cozy, hopefully folks that have the opportunity to hang out with friends and family, get that done as well type Christmas. It's been a fantastic year so far. I'll see you again before New Year's, but it's been fantastic. Very appreciative to be able to have you guys in my life. And yeah, it's just badass. So Pilgrim, you're welcome. Lumberknock, happy holidays. DDJ, all the best to you as well. John, same. Ventali, Merry Christmas. GMFD, Merry Christmas. Chaz Solo, Merry Christmas. Stouty, again, hit me up outside of this. Hit me up on Discord. Merry Christmas. Stoic, have a wonderful one. Hell's Ridge, happy holidays to you as well. Gulo Gulo, thank you. I hope the team sees this. And have a great one yourself. Alpha, sorry, Elemental Alpha. Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before New Year's, Happy New Year, but I should be back before then. Panic, MTG, Merry Christmas. Golden Gloves, have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Fortress, same deal. MMO Pug, Merry Christmas. Voodoocan, I think that's right. Thank you for the follow. You got me back up to 4,102. We were at 4,102 and then someone bailed on us. Pattis, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll see you in Slack. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here today. I will see you next week. Keep an eye out. Be sure to join our Discord. It'll let you know anytime anybody on the stream is, or anytime anybody on the team is streaming. Check out our website if you're absolutely new here. J Bombo, bye-bye. Finks, bye-bye. Corthin, later. Join our mailing list. We're at 2,300 people. Hopefully that's a good sign of things to come. Be great to get that to like 3,000, so let your friends know. If you need some stuff to watch over the holidays, we put all of these VODs up on YouTube. I need to not forget to put today's and Tuesdays up there right after this. And if you're a fan of EverQuest, I've got about 60 hours of interviews with different people from the EverQuest team posted right there on that very last link. That should be up even after the stream ends. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Merry Christmas, and I will see you next week.